Good afternoon. I call to order this regular meeting of the San Bernardino International Airport Authority this Wednesday, September 26th. Before we go into closed session, are there any public comments for closed session? All right, we will recess for closed session and reconvene upon conclusion of closed session. We've now returned from closed session, and the open session is now reconvened. Please have a roll call.
Certainly. Please state your name for the record from the City of Colton.
Richard De La Rosa.
And from the City of Loma Linda. Thank you. From the City of Highland.
Penny Lilburn.
Thank you. And from the City of San Bernardino.
Carrie Davis.
And Fred Charette.
Thank you very much.
Anything to report from closed session?
There was no reportable action taken in closed session. For the record, Councilmember Lilburn was recused herself from closed session items A, B, and C.
Thank you.
This time, Councilmember Lilburn will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Would you please join me as we pledge for our country?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Councilmember. Anything to be added or deleted from today's agenda?
No item, sir.
Any conflicts of interest to disclose at this time? All right. Seeing none, we'll move to item G, informational items, presented by Michael Burrows.
So I'll start with one, if you'll indulge me here. Wanted to make sure everybody knew that we have, yet again, a returning customer, our friends at Volga. Volga, Mark Detmer. I don't speak Cyrillic, but it is a repeat customer. They operate the Russian Antonov cargo aircraft, and they have been busily using our ramp and facilities. That is a picture of the aircraft itself, and do have additional flights scheduled coming in and out. So they've been with us now off and on for the last couple of years, and this is probably the most concentrated amount of flight activity that we will see in the next several weeks. So it's definitely one of the largest flying fortresses out there, and we're happy to have them. They are actually concentrating some of their administrative staff here in the U.S. To operate more flights, and we'll be setting up a Houston operation to do flight planning and contracting here. So our FBO team was very, very gracious in hosting them, and they do plan on doing more work here in the near future. So
Very good. Thank you for that update.
with that, I'd like also Ms. Pritchett to fill you in on this thing called an air show coming up. Kat, if you would.
Thank you. We are now 32 days away from opening day of SBD Fest 2018. Our aerial acts featuring the A-10 and the Patriots are booked. The concert stage, we are excited to announce Shayna G has been sponsored to fly out from Nashville to do the opening act for the Gym Blossoms, which will then be followed by a fireworks show to close out the night. Sunday's activities include the Lucha Libre, the San Manuel Band of Mission Indians, SB Strong Tug of War competition, also the band Tieta, as well as all of our aerial acts. The promos have started on the radio stations, KCal Cola, K Buena, and Hot 103.9. Promotions will start in Stater Brothers, local Stater Brothers stores here very soon. We are working with our beer promoters, which are 805 Heineken and Dos Equis, who will be doing in-store promotions for us at Stater Brothers. Some of our other sponsors that have been confirmed over the past 30 days are the Doubletree by Hilton, who will be providing our hospitality. Epic Fuels, one of our vendors. HealthNet, Over the Hill Gang, Robertson's Ready Mix has joined the party with us. They will be providing football at the fest, so we will have college football, NFL, and NFL games in the VIP tent on Sunday. The San Manuel Band of Mission Indians, of course, Southern California Toyota dealers, Raising Cane's, Two Guys Pizza and Pasta, a lot of local support we've had this year. We've also had an opportunity to work with all of our partner agencies in providing discounted tickets to your employees. So each one of your cities and the County of San Bernardino have promo codes for employees to receive discounts to attend the event. We've also worked with San Bernardino City School District and San Bernardino County Superintendent of Schools to get ticket information out to our families with kids to the event, which 13 and under are free. So our ticket sales have already seen a dramatic increase since we've sent those flyers out. We've worked with each one of our local chambers to get the business community more involved, and we've had great support. We are still looking for sponsors, so if anyone's watching and would like to sponsor us, please let me know after the meeting. But we do just encourage everyone to like us on Facebook, like us, share the events. Every day our marketing team is pushing out new and exciting information about the event. So again, it's November 3rd and 4th, and if you have any questions, I'm free to answer them now or after the meeting.
How many tickets have been sold now to date versus last year's?
To date, I confirmed with our team, we've sold 116 tickets. Last year at this time, we had sold 12. So if our numbers are correct, we're expecting quite the group this year.
Very good, thank you. Any questions?
Just one. Your marketing with the hospitals, Loma Linda and Arrowhead Regional, they have 3,000 plus employees. How do you market with them and contact them to see if their employees are aware of the show?
We have not reached out to Arrowhead. We will do that, though. We will note that. We are working with the Loma Linda Veterans Hospital. We're coordinating an event to bring out some veterans on Friday night and get the information out to their team in a special event with Loma Linda.
Okay, before I leave, I'll give you the contact number for Arrowhead Regional.
Great.
I'm sure they'd be glad to share the information with their employees.
Great. I'd be happy to contact them. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? After the time over to Mr. Gibbs.
Please.
Thank you, Mayor. This next item, this next informational report has to do with a recent procedural change that the FAA has updated to our instrument flight path into the airport. So we've got what's called an instrument landing system, and it has procedures that are designed to allow airplanes to land in bad weather when there's clouds or rainy conditions. The pilots have to be able to see the airport at a certain point in time. The graph up there kind of indicates that. So it shows you the old path is indicated with the orange arrow. It shows that a pilot has to make a decision whether he can see the runway when he's at 498 feet or 1 3/4 miles away. That recently changed. So what the FAA did is they took all the surrounding criteria, right? So if you look at all the things sticking up into the airspace, particularly mountainous terrain, and that factored into the different flight paths that would impact an airplane landing essentially in the clouds. So the new procedure allows aircraft to land at 250 feet above the airport and only 3/4 of a mile away. It's quite an increase in the reliability for operators flying in and out of the airport. If they can't see the runway at the given points, then they can't land, and they have to what's called go around on a missed approach. So the next slide is what the pilots see, and so this is the actual procedure itself that the FAA has updated. It includes the mountainous terrain, radio frequencies, and all the technical information that pilots use when they're flying in instrument flight conditions. And together, these all combine to increase reliability for pilots, your tenants, in the movement of passengers and cargo, and at the end of the day, makes for happy pilots like the one up there on the board.
Can you give us an update on the radar installation for the tower?
Sure. Separate from this, we're working with the FAA to get a radar feed into the control tower. We're a little bit different than most airports in that we are what's called a non-federal, non-contract tower. That means we get to pay our own way, and that sometimes throws the FAA for a loop. So they are in the process now of writing a new policy that will allow us to get a radar feed. So we're working through that. Hopefully, headquarters approves that policy change, and we can install radar in the control tower.
Thank you.
Thank you. Does that conclude your report? Any other questions? Thank you. We will now move to our consent calendar. We have a motion for items 3 through 7.
I'll second.
Thank you. Any opposed? Seeing none, consent calendar is approved. Next, we'll move to item number 8. Item number 8 is to approve an award of a contract to Serco Management Services to provide air traffic control tower services.
Good afternoon.
Nick?
Thank you. So right along with what Mark Gibbs was talking about, we are a non-federal, non-contract tower. So this is to award the air traffic control services contract to Serco Incorporated. So August 13th, we put out a RFP. We sent it out to 5 service providers and also uploaded it to our website. We did have 3 companies attend a job walk, of which 2 then submitted formal proposals. Serco submitted the most competitive offer, and it is worth noting that since 2008, Serco, when FAA designated our airspace Class D, Serco has been the service provider. We have great history with them, and the current contract is set to expire September 30th of this year. So this contract would take us through 2021, and then we do have options for 2 one-year extensions. The 3-year term is relatively constant at $54,038.75 per month for the first year, $56,220 per month for the second, and $57,034 per month for the third year. And that's for 14 hours per day, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m., 365 days a year. Staff recommends that the commission approve this contract and allow the executive director to execute all related documents.
Thank you. Please note for the record, Mayor Woods, or Mayor Pro Tem Woods is now sitting in for Mayor De La Rosa. Do we have any questions on item number 8?
I'll move approval.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. Any questions? Any opposition? Seeing none, item number 8 is approved. Next is item number 9. It's to approve an award of a contract to CNA Janitorial Services in an amount not to exceed $290,790 to provide janitorial services for 10 buildings owned by the San Bernardino International Airport Authority.
Yeah, so Nick will
Nick's
take over.
taking this one?
I'll take this one. So yeah, CNA Janitorial, the contract is before you. This is for approval of a 3-year contract for 10 buildings owned by SBIAA and IVDA. This would take us through 2021. The last contract total was for $56,580. New contract would be for $96,620. We did go out to an RFP, of which 17 invitations were sent out. 7 firms attended the walk, and 4 firms submitted submitted proposals. After the consideration period, we did choose CNA as the lowest responsible bidder. And CNA also maintains janitorial services for all other SBIAA and IVDA properties. So staff recommends board approve this item.
Thank you. Have any questions? We have a motion to move this item.
I'll move.
Thank you. We have a motion. We have a second.
I'll second.
A motion and a second. Any further discussion? Any opposed? Seeing none, item number 9 is approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 10, consider and discuss the updated action plan for the San Bernardino International Airport through December 31st. Mr. Burrows?
So we find ourselves here in September, and a couple of things we have underfoot presently. As you all know, we are moving rapidly to complete the FedEx hangar improvements. We are, thank goodness, ahead of schedule on that, and do anticipate meeting their October 1st date without issue. From there on in, we are going to update the capital plan for the balance of the year. Obviously, having FedEx come in at the time they did is an exciting opportunity for us, but we have had to defer a few projects to focus our resources and attention on their priorities. So going into October, we will come up with a balance, which would be a snapshot of the additional projects we do seek to complete yet this fiscal year. It helps us as a staff maintain focus, but also we think you as a commission direct where your priorities are as well. On the legislative front, I will be in Washington, D.C. Next week for a very, very quick trip. We are working actually on some new grant proposals, and I hope to come back with a positive report on that front. It was one I was trying to defer after Air Show, Kat, I really was. But this is an opportunity I do think we want to try to get in front of. So October will be a busy month. We hope to have good news from FedEx as they get their staff trained to get ready for operations. And I will note on the IVDA side of the house that the Tippecanoe Avenue roadway construction work, mobilization started this past week, and so you will see crews out there. If you get questions from the community or the public, they are starting on that new cargo access road. That will look to be wrapped up right about November 1st is the plan on that, so they do have a good bit of work to do. So obviously if you do get questions, send them our way and staff will take care of that for you. So that completes my report.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Any open session public comment? Thank you. Any commission member comments to be made at this time? I'll announce that on October 6th, San Bernardino will have its 6th annual Back to Route 66, and so everyone is invited to attend that. I believe we have close to 1,000 cars that have already been signed.
When is that again?
October the 6th?
One day?
It's one day.
Okay.
And where?
It's downtown.
Downtown, the same as the, okay.
Yep. Thank you. If there's no other comments, this meeting is adjourned until Wednesday, October 24th. Thank you.